It's El Clasico, the Spanish champions against La Liga's leaders. Barcelona against Real Madrid, live from the Camp Nou in the Catalan capital. 98,000 inside, millions watching around the world. And how they love their Barcelona in these parts. A very special one, what with the return of Jose Mourinho to his former employer, looking for his first ever win on this ground as a coach. World Cup winners galore, two best players in the world, two biggest clubs in the world, head-to-head, in what is potentially a title decider this early in the season. Let's join our commentary team. Terry Gibson is alongside Rob Palmer.
Well, I think it might be cold where you are back home, so hog that remote control. Put an extra bar on the fire and settle down for something rather spectacular. They say this game has been hyped. Let me give you a few facts. We have 13 World Cup winners, 2 World Players of the Year, the world's costliest player, 10 nominees for the Ballon d'Or, the biggest crowd in European football, and those are just the facts. A sea of colour greets us here. Terry Gibson, I know you've seen a lot in your career, but even you are open-eyed.
Imagine playing it in a match of this level. Absolutely fantastic.
Well, let's have a look at the teams of Barcelona first of all. Between the clubs, they have 13 players with World Cup winners' medals, 8 of these from Barcelona. And they have the veterans of the Gran Clásicos. Only David Villa is experiencing the big game for the first time. No surprises in personnel or tactics. It's the usual 4-3-3. Barca seeking a 4th successive win against their ancient rivals. Now, Jose Mourinho did have a dilemma. Argentinian striker Gonzalo Higuain reported unfit to start because of a back injury. The temptation may have been to draft in a midfielder, but he's gone for a straight replacement in Karim Benzema. Just his 2nd league start of the season. The French striker who scored against England recently will play up front. They have 4 derby debutants in Ozil, Di Maria, Khedira and Carvalho. The biggest game in the world, possibly the best benches in the world as well. The likes of Adriano, Mascherano, the Argentinian captain, come on for Barcelona. Higuain's in reserve. The referee tonight is preparing us for action. He's actually got a Europa League game later this week. It's Aldi Gonzalez. Well, so many matchups. It's the special one against the spectacular one, the successful one. It's Ronaldo against Messi. It's also our very own X-Factor, Xavi against Xabi Alonso. It's an age since Real Madrid beat Barcelona, 978 days. Spain, as always for this game, is at a standstill. The whole nation divided, probably the globe divided these days. Everybody has a view on Barcelona and Real Madrid. For the first time in many a season, almost impossible to tear them apart. Let the festivities begin. You are one of a global audience tonight of around 400 million people who are tuned in for this game. The greatest game on earth, Philip.
You've done with all the talking, the build-up to the game now, Rob. It's all about the football. I have to say, the 2 coaches look remarkably composed, Guardiola and Jose Mourinho. They know it's all about the football. Guardiola's kept it low-key. But tonight he's going to let his team, hopefully he'll let his team do the talking on the pitch. For Real Madrid, Rob, it must have been tempting for Jose Mourinho to bring in an extra midfield player, Lassana Diarra, but he's stuck with the pattern of play that his team have done so well with this season so far. It's attacking, it's bold, it's very unlike Jose Mourinho, but it will make for an open game.
Well, it's the 3rd year in a row that Real Madrid have gone into the game ahead of Barcelona in the Liga. As Villa's on a run, there's a stretch for Pepe. Iniesta, there'll be wave after wave of Barcelona attack tonight. It's a similar night to last year. They played this game on exactly the same date. And of course, it was an Ibrahimovic goal that separated the two sides. There is Iniesta, the man who scored the goal in the World Cup final. Try not to hype it up too much, but every one of those players out there has accomplished great things in their career. Piqué to Iniesta. Villa making a move. Pepe stretches again. He's going to have his hands full tonight.
It certainly is. It's going to be interesting, fascinating for me, Rob. Will Real Madrid try and win the ball back? Will it be high up the pitch? Will they drop deep, get numbers back behind the ball, allow Barcelona possession? For me, I think they have to try and contend with Busquets. It's going to be interesting if Benzema drops in, or Mesut Ozil, and perhaps even Ronaldo.
First foul of the evening has the Barcelona fans in front of us up off their seats. The referee's done well, though. He's given an advantage to Barcelona, trying to keep things moving. Little allow from Pedro, away by Marcelo. Scrappy defending from Real Madrid. Cool-headed Iturralde Gonzalez gives the free kick to the men from Madrid.
And you see the first in, I'm sure, many little 1-2 plays, passage of plays by Barcelona.
As one would expect, there's a history of bad-temperedness in this game. And 2 players sent off in this fixture last season. Cristiano Ronaldo's got the ball. Cue the boos. Well handled by Valdez in very tricky, slippery conditions.
And we just had a bit of rain before the game, didn't we? It's continued and we'll wait for a slick surface. Will suit the passing game of both teams. Valdez picked up a knock there.
Well, it's quite concerning for Valdez. He's gone down and seems to be in some considerable pain. He seems to have sprung his shoulder. Now he's the last man they want to lose.
They certainly do have an experienced goalkeeper on the bench in Pinto, but hasn't played much football in the last 3 or 4 seasons, I guess. Certainly wouldn't have played in a game of this magnitude.
Oh, it was an absolute freak injury. It just appeared to collide with Piqué as he went down.
Yeah, Piqué, Ronaldo gets the cross in at the near post and he clashes into the shins of Gerard Piqué. I don't think that's going to be too bad for Victor Valdez. I'm sure it's going to take a lot more than that for him to come off the field of play in the first 4 minutes.
Well, he's one of the veterans of this game. It's his 15th Grand Clasico. Victor Valdez has only ever had 5 clean sheets in the game. That's Pinto, who is an experienced goalkeeper, but this would be the biggest game of his career if he were to come on. I'm sure that, as you say, Valdez will tough it out, though. Here's Xavi. Miscontrol from Alves. Benzema gets into the thrust of things. An unexpected call for the Frenchman tonight. Pedro. Reaches out to Marcelo, who tries to play his way out of defence and bumps into his fellow countryman, Dani Alves. Lionel Messi still awaiting his first touch of the ball with 5 minutes gone. That looked like a corner. Assistant didn't give it. Messi picks up and goes in his first mazy dribble of the evening.